What's up, droners, and welcome to this edition of Droner News. We have the Karma again, the Inspire 2, and polar bears. Why not? Let's get into it. Coming in first and foremost is, I don't know if I hate to do this or not anymore, but I'm definitely still gonna be going ahead and talk some more about the Karma. As I predicted when it first came out, I was like, I don't trust it because it's the first generation of drone. And we all know it got recalled. And now because of that recall, the shareholders for GoPro are suing the company for the failed drone and what's happening to the stock prices. There's a law firm called Bronstein, Gerwitz, and Grossman, and it notified anybody who had stock between September 19th and November 4th are eligible for this lawsuit. It's just downhill spiral, man. Like, poor GoPro, like, they try to do this drone because ain't nobody need no GoPros anymore because the Hero 4 worked too well. And now the drone didn't work, and now they're getting sued for the drone not working. So allegedly, GoPro knew that this drone wasn't gonna work when they released it. That's why there was all the delays and all the problems, but they released it anyway because obviously GoPro stock was falling. It was in free fall, and they needed something to help float it. Yes, pun intended. That was terrible. That was a bad joke. I'm sorry. It's just way worse than I could have expected. Good luck to you guys at GoPro. Coming number 2, Autel, the makers of the X-Star, which is allegedly the word of today, the phantom copying drone. It looks a lot like a phantom. It's the orange one. You'll know it when you see it in the video. But this drone has some really good marketing. I really enjoyed this video, and that's why it's on here, is they actually made a Thanksgiving dinner with the drone. Yeah, I know, right? Like, how could they possibly do that? And they did it in every way you could imagine, whether that be peeling the carrots. And it's like, how would you cook a turkey? Oh, I know. These things have a hook on the bottom you can put on the bottom of the drone, and it literally dipped it into a deep fryer and sat there for 20 to 25 minutes, or until golden brown, depending on how long your flight time is, because they're just 25 minutes, allegedly. And they did it. They did it all. It looked absolutely terrible. But it was really good marketing. Like, it's a really fun video you should watch. I really enjoyed it. Check it out. Coming in number 3, we have more on the Inspire 2 because yes, I'm still slightly obsessed with this drone. It's absolutely fantastic. And what we have here is a YouTube channel called Digital Circuit. Did a straight up drag race between the two to show how much faster the Inspire 2 is than the Inspire 1. And when I first heard that it was faster, that was probably like one of the biggest things I didn't care about. I'm all about the camera and the reliability and the object avoidance. I'm like, that's great. But the speed isn't really a big thing for me because I've never ever had the feeling when flying my Inspire like, oh man, I wish I could have gone faster. But I also do have this little need for speed thing in the back of my head that doesn't really make sense and makes me want to go faster. And there's a drag racing video where the Inspire 2 absolutely smokes the Inspire 1. And also, DJI released that short film that they had snippets of being made when they released the Inspire 2. It's called The Circle. It looks absolutely, the whole thing was shot on the Inspire 2. Looks beautiful. But you can tell they definitely went back in and dubbed in some of the words and things like that because I would assume the propellers make noise on a drone and you can't record audio when there's a propeller in your face. So it's kind of obvious they did that, but it really does show off the versatility of the amazing shots that this thing can do and how awesome it is. It just isn't needed for literally every shot. Coming in number 4, drones to study the Arctic polar bears. Yes, climate change is still happening and there are still polar bears around, hilariously, because it seems like by now they would all be dead by what everyone's been telling us. And the San Diego Zoo teamed up with an engineering company called Northrop Grumman to start a project to use drones to monitor the polar bears in the Arctic and their shrinking habitat. Yep, back to that. They're doing it. It's really cool because the drones can actually be in places that we can't, and they can also monitor over great periods of time or space that we can't, and it allows us to pretty much study how they're going to die. This is actually going to be a fixed-wing drone doing this, so obviously it can stay in the air much longer than a rotor drone. And it also has, this is all done specifically so that the San Diego Zoo can learn better ways to do conservation efforts for Arctic polar bears. Good luck to them. All right, coming in last but definitely not least, these are my favorite kind of stories, is that in Canada, I don't know if you guys heard a few weeks ago, there was a flight that had to do a crazy maneuver to avoid an object as they were coming in under descent. And of course, everyone is, it's a drone! Oh no, of course it's a drone. Everybody hates drones. And that was what everyone said. That's what it was reported as being and all that. But nobody really looked at the facts of what was going on. This was 12 miles out of shore, over the ocean, 12 miles away from shore in the ocean, 9,000 feet in the air when they had to avoid an object and called it a drone. I don't know about y'all, but I don't know any drones outside of military drones that can fly out 12 miles and up 9,000 feet to interfere with a plane coming in for a landing. So Of course, weeks later, they've come back to retort and very quietly say, oh yeah, we don't think it was a drone. Which, I mean, whatever. I'm happy that you guys did that, but maybe a lesson should be learned here, guys. Drones aren't always doing the bad things and running into planes. It could be balloons or UFOs or, I don't know, anything else. Droners, thank you so much for enjoying this Droner News with me. I hope you enjoyed it as much as I enjoyed learning about it. And if you want to learn more about Droner News, you can click here because that's where more Droner News is. And there's a lot of them, trust me. Or you can click here to see more list videos that teach you more about all the things involving drones, because drones are awesome, like I said in the last story. Either way, make sure you support what we're doing and making these videos by hitting that subscribe button, because that really helps us out. And as always, make sure you stay fly.